whole lot for me to say about this week's episode for Boruto. It's pretty straightforward. If you saw the previews, you kind of already have an idea what you're going to be expecting for this episode. But for what it's worth, it's not bad. It's not that I didn't enjoy it, but there really isn't a whole lot for me to really talk about within the episode, which is basically just a general consensus of remembering those who have died from the Fourth Shinobi World War, which wasn't really a Shinobi World War. It was more so the entirety of the world against Mamoru Uchiha and then later Kaguya. So not really a war, but it's a war against one guy who's essentially a super boss, which that's fine. It makes sense in context, so what does it matter? And basically the episode is just there to honor those who fell during the battle, and it mainly focuses on Shikamaru and Ino a little bit. That's kind of what I was speculating in the end of my last video last week. Which I thought was a little weird why they were focusing on the last generation characters so predominantly, but it was more so focusing on the idea of, did they really mean, because the context of what was going on was in their last moments of Ino and Shikamaru's fathers. They were relaying messages to them personally and basically saying that they were proud of them, this and that, blah, blah, blah. If you saw it, you saw it. I don't really need to explain it, but the whole context as to why they're remembering that day and that moment is because they weren't really sure what the meaning behind them explaining this, the plan to take down the Ten Tails was really for, because remember, the Ten Tails was about to completely destroy headquarters where their fathers currently were at that moment in the battle, and Shikamaru and Ino are basically just questioning whether or not they said that plan to raise morale, if they really believed that they were able to basically do it. And the episode kind of cuts off from there, and it goes on to the other plot, or the other thing about the episode, which is a guy who has a prosthetic arm and leg and doesn't have one of his eyes. And when I first saw him in the episode, because he shows up really early, in the previews I didn't know who he was, but then I started immediately guessing who he was, and yeah, it was Ao, the guy, like basically the right-hand man for the Mizukage and Naruto Shippuden, and I immediately called him out. Is this that guy with the singular Byakugan that wasn't a part of the Hyuga clan, and he wasn't from the Leaf Village, he was from the Mist Village? And yeah, that totally was the guy, because they call him out, and they show flashbacks, and yeah, that's totally him. And I was wondering why they had him live. I'm gonna be honest, I was wondering why they had him live. And then the episode basically just ends on a still shot of him grabbing one of the leaves from a tree, and I'm like, oh, he's a member of Kara, isn't he? So my speculation and my theory is that he's probably a member of Kara. I don't know why he's a member of Kara, I don't know what he's after, but basically he explains the whole main thing that I really enjoyed about the episode is that he explains that, yeah, Shikamaru and Ino's fathers, they were really proud of them, and they really, really believed that they were able to pull off whatever plan, whether it was the plan that they had set up for, or if they were going to figure out some sort of other plan. They believed that they were going to be able to win, and it was a really emotional part of the episode, and I really enjoyed it for that fact. Just because I enjoyed the last generation characters. They're just fan favorite characters. If you enjoyed those characters, you're obviously going to like those moments in the episode. But then it's like, they show the previews, and I'm like, oh, I just wish they had shown that, because that seems so much more interesting. We get to see Jigen, finally, the fucking guy that they name drop multiple fucking times. And Victor's back, and he's gonna fucking do some sort of stupid shit. I don't know. Next week's episode's definitely going to be more interesting, and there's going to be a lot more to talk about, but there's not really much to say about this episode. If you've seen it, you've seen everything that you really need to watch, so there's not really much else to say. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap things up. If you enjoy it, leave a like. If you are new, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. For what it's worth, I did enjoy the episode and the parts within the episode. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.